If Miss Radek. Miss, can you hear us?
Yes. Yes, guys, I'm back. Can you hear me now? I'm using my mobile data to continue the session. I hope it's gonna last till the end of the session because I think it was ending. But we'll try our best. So if the meeting ended in any case, like it ended suddenly, that means my data ended. Okay. So let me share my screen. Hope you guys can see my screen now.
Miss, is this the last session or what?
Yes, this is the last session. Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Today we're going to talk about lesson 3, talking about shores. It says, what forces shape the shoreline? Why do we have different shorelines, different shapes of beaches? And
No.
we have different vocabularies to learn about: shore, headland, tide bowl, jetty. So it sounds like really new words, but don't worry, it's going to be so easy. So first, what is a shore? What do you guys we mean by shore?
The place that we stand before we get to the ocean, by the ocean.
Okay, I think my electricity came back. I hope it came back. Okay, so I'll try to connect again with the Wi-Fi. So yes, it's where we stand. It's the part of the land. That's right. Well done. We can say it's the part of the land where water and land meets. Okay, water and land meet at the shoreline. Right? Everyone?
جماعة هي المس رجعت تاني يا جماعة.
Yes. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, miss, I cannot hear you.
Yes, Oda, you can't hear me?
Yes, now I hear you.
Okay, maybe there was something wrong. I hope you guys can hear me now.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, it just says my internet connection is unstable.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So now we're back. Again, as I think Amgad said, it's the part of the land where we stand. That's right. And we can say it's the part of the land where water or ocean meets with the land. So it's the area where the ocean and the land meet and interact. This is called the shore. We have different features over the shore. We have different shapes of the shore. Some shores are covered with sand or pebbles, which are small stones. Some shores are covered with, the black sand. Have you ever seen it before?
Like what?
The shores with black sand?
No.
Really?
No, I
Okay,
didn't
let
see.
me show it to you here.
I've maybe seen it in movies, but not in real life.
Okay, بس well, it's found in real life. Can you
مش
see
عارف
it?
اسمها.
Yes, it's found in Hawaii. It has black
We
sand.
didn't go.
Yeah,
We
it
didn't
looks
go on.
magical actually for me. It looks magical. Okay. So again, what is a shore? It's the part or an area where the ocean and water interact or they meet. Okay? Obviously, we know that. So the shorelines change their shapes with time because of the waves. Okay? We learned before in chapter 7, if you guys remember learning about the rock cycle, that water and wind can break down rocks. Remember that?
Yes,
Yeah.
and the rocks change into sediments and they move and they form sediments.
Exactly, yes. So also the waves attacking the shore all the time will change its shape. Okay, like with time, the water will actually break down more and more of the land, causing to have different shapes of the shore. Okay.
Which what is stalk or stack? Something was written in the picture.
I will show it to you again. So when this happens, like when it starts breaking down the shore like this, for example, here it is, also breaking down it, causing erosion. First, we have, of course, weathering, which is the breaking down process, and then we have erosion. Can you see how it changed, like from the beginning on the left? Can you guys see that?
Yes.
Yes, let me zoom
It
into it
was
so you can see more.
big
So here
piece
we
of
have
rock.
just a normal shoreline. And in here we can have a soft rock and the hard rocks. Hard rocks will not be broken down easily by the water. So we can say that they are left behind after the weathering process. So the same happens in picture number 2. Can you see how
It
the
looks
soft
like
rock is
the rock is eaten.
Yes, looks like if it's eaten, yes. In Arabic, actually, it means the same thing, as if it's eaten or broken down. Okay? Can you see how the shore is actually changing? But the rock is actually left behind. Can you see this?
Yes, because the
It's
soft
only
rock.
soft part
Yeah, because it's
broken
soft
down. Yes, but the hard
will
part's
break
left.
down fast.
Well, we are left with this extent of the shore. Can you see it? Let me show you a new picture or
Yes.
like a real picture in real life here. This is a real picture of the same process. Can you see how the
Oh,
water just changed the shape of it? Can you see this part eaten or broken down?
yeah,
Yes. Can you see this part
yeah.
back here? Let me do a circle so you can see it.
Little part. That was the hard
Our
part.
circles, where
Because
are
of that, it
circles?
wasn't broken.
This part in here, this part of the shore. Can you see this part of the shore?
Yes.
Yes. So this is the hard rock or the hard part. It's left behind even after all this part have been broken down. It's still left behind. So this part is
But
actually
there's a
called headland. It's called
head.
headland.
Land.
Okay. This part again is called headland. Okay. Let me show you in another picture. We just can't move this one. We have to take it off first. So let me clear all drawings. Let me
مش
show you.
اسمها بالعربي أرض رأسية.
Yes.
اسمها بالعربي أرض رأسية.
I don't really know in Arabic what is it called, but no, I don't think it's called this way. This is another picture. I'm sorry about this. It's I'm zooming into it, so it has this different shape. So in here you can see also a bay. Bay is what is formed or the water formed in between these two rocks. Can you see the two headlands? Can you see the
Yes.
two headlands? Yes. So the part in the middle is the soft part, so that's why it's broken down easily. Let me check if we have anyone in the waiting room first. Yes. So if I went back to what do we mean by headlands, I would say it's like when the soft rock is worn away, worn is broken down, it's the same word. The hard rock is left behind, and that will form a point of land, which we call the headland. Okay? Can you see in this picture too? Can you see
Yes.
these
Well,
parts? These parts I'm
sea star.
highlighting. Those are
Sea star.
headlands. Can you see them? Not the sea star. I'm not talking about the sea star. I'm talking about the
I know.
headlands I'm highlighting. Can you see them?
Yes.
Yes. So this is the hard rocks left behind. These what we call the headlands. Okay. So
Okay.
we learned about the shore. What do we mean by shores? And shore are the areas where the ocean and land
Ocean
meet.
and land meet. Yes.
Yes, well done. We also learned that sometimes the soft rocks are broken down, leaving
And the
behind the
hard rock
hard rocks that will
doesn't
form
them.
what do we call it?
Headland.
Headlands. Okay, well done. Thank you so much, guys, for understanding this point. Okay, but the water doesn't stop. It keeps hitting this headland all the time. Keeps hitting it with years and
It
years
breaks
with
slowly.
different power and different forces. What
Okay.
happens?
Breaks down so slowly.
It
Breaks
will
down
break
the
it
rock.
down slowly, yes.
Yeah.
But we still have some hard parts left behind. So it will form something called arc. This is called arc. Can you guys see
Orb.
it?
Okay. Orb.
Yes.
Right?
So this is a part of the headland. Obviously, this is a part of the headland. This whole rock is a part of the headland. Can you see the man standing up there?
Yeah.
Okay. So we have this part of headland, but with time the water starts breaking the part in the middle. I'm highlighting here. So with time it will break this part down, causing
Empty.
to the formation of the arc. Okay?
Arc.
Yes, this is called arc. Okay, everyone? Can you guys hear me?
Okay. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So again, after headlands forms, waves wear away its rocks slowly, causing the formation of a sea arc. Okay, that's interesting. Water is so powerful. That's what we learned today. Water is very powerful, and with time and patience of the water, it can actually break down rocks. Type. Here we have another picture of the arc. Let me show it to you. Here is it. Can you guys see? So all this part was a complete rock, what we call the headland. But can you see the spaces formed between the rocks? Can you guys see the
Yes.
spaces in here? Yes.
Yes.
Those are formed by, again, the water breaking
And
down the
water
soft
name
part.
arc.
Like the water breaking down these soft parts. Can you see here also? These are like the beginning. This is the beginning. This one. Let me take all this off. So in here, this is the beginning of forming an arc. So the water starts with really small broke or just small breaking. And then this breaking starts to get bigger and bigger and bigger until it forms again an arc, until it forms a whole arc like this one here. Can you see? Like this one here, unless maybe sometimes there's nothing left at the end. Of course, this doesn't happen like in a few days. This one takes years and years to be formed. Okay?
Okay.
So can you see even headland, which is the hard part of the beach, will not survive from the water. It will be broken down, but just takes really longer time to be broken down. Okay? Everyone,
Yes. Okay.
do you guys have any questions for this part?
No. Thank
Okay, we're not gonna
No.
finish the whole lesson today. We're not gonna finish the whole lesson today. But we're
Okay.
going to talk about the tide balls. What are tide balls? Have you ever heard about this word before?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I-
Yeah.
Okay, yes. Look, can you tell me what do you know about them?
They are like when the water level comes above the rocks and it breaks them down. I think so.
Yes. So we know that tides is how high or low the sea level is. Remember, we have high tides and low tides. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, sometimes the rocks are broken, as we know, and these broken parts are covered with water for, just a few minutes or, I'm sorry, a few hours. Like this one in here. I'm going to show it to you. Okay. Okay, so here, guys, in this picture, I hope you guys can see it. Let me zoom into it a little bit. So can you see this one? So the sea level was a little bit low, but then it increased with time. So this is what we mean by tide pools. It's, can you see? Can you see this part? How the sea level changes?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is how the sea level changes. Here also, sea level changing with time. It takes like really long time. It's just about 6 hours, like Shlok said. Okay, so you can see how the water collects behind this rock. Can you see this part behind the rock? Can you see, guys, how
Yeah.
water collects behind this rock here?
Yes.
The water is collecting here. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So once this begins to get low or low tide, the water here will stay the same, right?
Yeah, miss.
It's not going to move. So the animals living here are going to stay here until there is high tide again that will allow them to get back to the water. So let me show you another
Yes.
picture. Let me show you another.
Like sea stars are stuck, I think so.
Yes, some
Yeah.
organisms are stuck. Yes, that's right. Yes, that's right. That's right, Yishtok. Some organisms are stuck in these tide balls.
That's
Okay.
a little bit funny.
The what?
That's a little bit funny.
It's a little bit.
Like, like sea stars are stuck. Like, how are they stuck?
Yes. So here he's showing you the picture, but with imaginary organisms. But can you see how the water is trapped in this area here? Because now we're
Yeah.
having a low tide, so all the water is trapped in here. Of course, organisms will also be
Here.
trapped in here until it's high tide again. Okay?
Okay.
Here,
Okay.
for example, here we have a low tide. So you guys can see that the water is trapped in here. Can you see the water trapped in here between? Can you see the water trapped in here? Again, let's show it to you with circles. So here's the water
Okay.
trapped. Can you see the one I just put circle around? Can you see
So
how
the
it's
little
trapped?
bit are
All
waiting
the
until the
sea
ocean
is
is there.
up there, but when it's high tide, all the water can reach this point and cover it. In low tide, all the water will give back, but leaving this tide bowl behind. This is what we call tide bowls. Okay?
Tide what?
Bowls.
Tide cold?
Bowl, yes. Let me show it to you in here. Just let me get this out. Yes. Here it is. Can you see it? I'm highlighting it. Can you see it?
Yes.
Like swimming pool, but with tide pool. So it's a temporary pool of ocean water, which we call the tide pool. So some organisms are actually trapped in here. Let me get back to the picture. Some organisms get trapped in here in the low tide and they can't get back to the ocean until it's high tide again. Okay? Here also, can you guys see how the water is trapped behind? Can you see how the water is trapped behind these rocks? So all organisms that are found in this tide pool are actually trapped. They can get back to the water when it's high tide again. Do you guys understand the idea now?
Yes.
Everyone
Yeah.
else? Yes, everyone else?
I think so.
Yes. I hope it's understood. It's easy and simple. Okay. So again, what is a tide bowl? They are temporary bowls of ocean water. So if I wanted to see here, all beaches have an area that is underwater at high tide and exposed at low tide. When rocky beaches, small pools of water can be trapped between rocks when the tide goes out, just like we saw in the picture. At high tide, water fills the area around the bowls, and some animals are then free to leave or enter the ocean again. Okay?
Okay.
So they are trapped
So,
in these tide pools until it's high tide again, as we said.
but when there is low tide in a place, like where does the water go?
What?
Where does the water go when there is low tide?
It doesn't
Like-
move around. It's trapped. The water's trapped in here. It's not gonna
No.
be.
But when there's a low tide, where does the water go? You're saying that.
No.
Yes, the water is trapped. This is a low tide, for example, ya Tanahi. So can you see how the water is trapped?
Yeah.
Water is
Little
trapped behind. So animals from this tide pool can't move back to the water. They can't move back to the water because there is a rock between them. But once this water level increases, like it's going to cover all these rocks, so the animals trapped in here can move back into the ocean. Do you get it now?
Yeah.
Do you get it now?
Yes.
Since the
Yes.
beginning.
Here it's showing you too. Can you see that? So some water will be trapped in this rock, for example, between these rocks. So if there are animals in here, they will be also trapped. Here, there's another picture. Okay. Can you see these small pools in here? Let me do circles around it so we can see it better. Okay, where are the circles? Okay, here it is, here it is, here it is. So can you see those? Where did the water come from in here? It came from the waves and the high tides. So when
Yes.
the water level increases,
So-
becomes bigger, it's going to cover all these rocks, and then the animals trapped in these tide pools will get back to the ocean again. Do you get it now?
They will. No. Yes. They will
Okay.
come back, or there will be other organisms there.
Maybe there will be other organisms trapped, or maybe the organisms already there will just get back to the ocean. Some organisms actually spend their whole life in tide pools, like crabs. They can spend their whole lives in tide pools. Do you know that?
But what they will eat? What will they eat?
Well, they feed on other microorganisms or small plants found in these areas, or organisms
And
that can be brought by new tides.
yeah, maybe.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, they will find something, because if they can't find food, why would they stay in the tide pools their entire life?
No, I don't know.
They have the option to get back. Okay. Here also it's showing it to you. Can you see it? When the water
Yes.
level increases, it covers all these rocks, so animals are now free to move.
But they doesn't have a chance for a long time, like for some time.
Yes, it can't stay for 6 hours, because we learned that high tide stays for 6 hours, remember?
Yes.
Yes. Last but not least is something that we have here in Egypt. We have with every river and sea meeting. It's called estuary. Estuary
Yes.
is a form of the ocean, or the shoreline, where river flows into ocean. What does that mean? So let me show
Dumyat
it to you
have
here in a picture. So here we have this beautiful picture of two water meeting. We have the ocean on the right and the river coming from the land. Can you guys see the river?
Yeah, miss. It happens in
yes.
the music. I think
This
so.
is the river here. This is the river, okay? And this is
Okay.
the ocean on the right. Can you see how the water meet? Like the fresh water is meeting with the salt water at these points?
Yeah.
Yes. It
Yes.
made like a small delta.
Yes, made like a small delta. Well done. So the part or the area where the salt water meets with the fresh water, or where the river flows into the oceans, it's called estuary. We have it here in Egypt because we have the River
It's
Nile,
in
or
the
the Nile
music. I
River.
think so.
I have there's them in Dumyat here.
Yes, let me show
Ice
it
Beetle.
to you in a picture too. So we have the Nile River. I had it in here. Okay, this is another picture of how rivers and oceans meet. Can you guys see the rivers in here? Let me zoom into it so you can see the different branches
There's no
of the
water.
rivers. Here,
There's no
different
water,
branches of the rivers. Can you guys see the different branches?
but there's no water.
No, this is water, but it's filled with mud.
Ew.
That's not air. That means this water is actually rich with nutrients. Do you believe it? Estuaries are
Nutrient.
areas where it's so rich with nutrients for fish and other organisms, because the movement of the water will cause
Yeah.
to move the mud more, and moving of the mud will actually cause the water to be rich with nutrients. So can you see how they meet? This is called estuary. Let me show it to you here in Nile River. I had it ready in here. Okay, here we have it. Of course, this is
Not
Nile. Yes. Of course, we have different estuaries in here because we have a river that flows into the sea. So the Nile River actually flows into the Mediterranean Sea, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So
yes.
we have an estuary in here. I just want to show you a better picture. Um, okay, maybe here we have it with a little bit better picture, better image. Just all I want you guys to know is that when the water meets, or the river flows into the sea, it's what we call estuary. It's what we call estuary. Yes.
Estuary.
Yes. You can hear it in here in this word. You can practice this word more. So it's like estuary, or some people can say it estuary, but I think it's estuary more.
Or Rishta.
Let me show it to
Estuary.
you. Yes, let me show it to you here. I'm highlighting it for you guys. Can you see it?
Estuary.
Yes. Here, for
Estuary.
example, it's pronouncing at estuary, like it's not saying any ch in it. So what is an
Estuary.
estuary again? It's where a river flows into the
Estuary.
ocean. Okay?
It's written estuary.
Yes, as I told you, it can be pronounced in different things. So you can practice it يعني, on your own, guys. Okay?
Estuary.
So it can be estuary or estuary or different forms. Okay? All I want you guys to know is that estuary is where the river flows into the ocean, and it's so rich in plants and animals. Okay?
Okay.
Yes. So what are the two features that can be seen along the shore? We can see headlands, we can see tide pools, right? Those are two
Yeah.
features that we can find on the shoreline.
Yes.
Yes. So I will finish today. This is the end of the part we're taking today. Next time, we're going to learn about human activities that affects the shore. What can we do to protect the shore from being weathered? And what can we do to protect the shore from being eaten away so we can have it for longer time? Okay? How we can fix that? Why is this man adding more sand to the beach? Or why is this man is
Because
dropping
sand
this?
absorb water.
Because what?
Sand absorb water.
That's right.
It doesn't actually, but it doesn't absorb water, but it's gonna like make the shore stay for a longer time. It's not gonna be broken down easily. But thank you, Tanahi, for mentioning it. Why this man is throwing this huge train trial? I don't know what's this. Just a big, looks like a
Raise
bus.
the water level.
Why is he
Raise the water
throwing
level.
it back into the oceans? Why are they throwing some
Raise the
metals
water
in the
level.
oceans? Yes,
Raise the water level.
maybe. We'll learn about this next time. So these are the human activities that affect the shore.
Miss,
We'll talk about next time. Yes? Yes?
do like the weather of the shore cause floods in other cities?
No.
Well, no, but with time, the part of the land will be gone. I mean, can you imagine
Like the water
down on the shore for maybe
will
100
increase on the
years?
city.
That means
Like
we'll
when
never have land anymore. If all land is broken down by water, land will actually end soon. Can you imagine that? So we need
he water and
to protect it. We need to protect it.
we'll have to live underwater.
Well, imagine living underwater. That would be fun, actually.
Yeah.
Okay, so now
Would be
guys, we'll
fun,
take
but
names,
unsafe and
names for the
It'd be fun, but it would not be safe.
unsafe. Yeah,
yes.
I said that.
Okay, guys. Now I'm
For
gonna
the
call names.
sharks and